Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing very, very well. Good evening and a happy Independence Day to everyone. And then you may ya baba tnaha ya baba be dwendwen ye ho enya menko amene menamfufuo bi na abantie enkomodie ne yebedi. There's no formal way yeah baba ya know anybody at some point in time you better really see a Zoom you better really see Zoom about to so wow feel say you want to add and contribute to the matter at hand, feel free to join in. As time goes on, we'll be having this straight talk to talk about everything so that we can educate ourselves and grow forward. We'll go from any aspects in our world, anything that has to do with humanity, we'll be talking about it. So feel free to join. And there's no, as I keep saying it, this is not a formal way. This is something for us to come and share our burdens with each other. So feel free. We'll be speaking English, Tree, any other language that you feel like you can express yourself in. Feel free and jump on and share this with your friends and family so that we can all get this thing talking. And before we go on, let me just introduce you to the friends that will be sharing this wonderful time with. So far, I am on here with a couple of friends. Let's see if we can introduce ourselves and get ourselves going today, because I've got some big names, man, like some head. So we'll be chatting and getting to grips of things. Okay, guys, who wants to go first? Let me start with the main man, the chief letter writer, the big man himself, the kingpin, the one who speaks and tender role, the one who says, "Don't be a sheep." Masa, explain yourself. Tell who you are.
Oh, okay. The answer now start with here, yeah. And let's say we topic I ever can hear about Ghana independence, and like Nitia, the slogan I don't be sheep. Then they say like on say near maybe you hold no ma ya and say oh sana ethic sana ya no. So I say everyone is just following. Say I say in the past that's how it's always been. So let's just live in that same line without actually thinking to analyze whether there is a better way of doing things. So basically, that's the general meaning of the "Don't Be Sheep" slogan. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. So paying Kessia no. And you do obeche ya mamre mu mamre. If you had my one and only big friend, Tom. I was your friend. Was a church in the way.
When I saw we were going to talk about Ghanaian independence, it is a rich history, and for some strange reasons, I don't know for some strange reasons, I don't know why, but some people and places have been trying to rewrite our history for the benefit of for themselves, and I think it's only necessary for us to listen to the real story behind our independence. And when we know the real story about our independence, then we can see if it's really worth celebrating, yes or no. But for the sake of the viewers now, I would say, and then they move from Kofi, because I'm born on Friday.
Hey, Kofi, my body. Well, if you are a Busiapahi Bako, the one and only, I'll quite know, but let me was over number 10. Oh, Skip. I'm not telling you, because if I say, Bella, you go school now, yeah, the drink so one drink, one Fanta drink, about 6 guys, you have pause, just for that one drink. Yeah, Charlie, Skippy, mental. Charlie, explain yourself.
Yeah. Thanks. Welcome you all. Good evening. My name is Fred. Between and Shada and but so I'll be mixing it up a bit, if you all don't mind. I'm really interested in this whole conversation because you know, when you told me about our independence, I happen to be in the mix of two countries, right? So my dad is from Sierra Leone and I'm from Ghana. So like for me, there are so many things I don't know about my history, right? Though I know the fundamental storyline behind my country, Ghana, but you know the main idea about how we celebrate our independence has never, you know, getting into my mind like now. And it do baby sometimes when you really want to, like you said, you really want to go deep into your roots and then find out where and why and how certain things are being celebrated, and if necessary, do they have to go on? Do we have to go on celebrating them? So I think it is a very interesting topic to talk about, and I'm really happy joining the group.
Wonderful. That's it. Because at the point in no Yakupon, a bone in area or the Oba to be clear. It wouldn't have been complete without having a lady on board with us. We asked a lot of ladies, but only one happened to say they would want to oblige to our call and come and join us. So, Nanama, my Antony, let us hear from you.
Hello.
Now, anyway.
Oh, no, like later, me the baby way. No, please. Yeah, so the Obiaka no, Ghana ni fu, and yet to point. And I feel said there's so many things ewo young culture and your traditions. People are misinterpreting it. And I say even young kasakra na if you gonna say I quite kakra. So if there's a talk about independence, and we have to be independent from everything, yeah, just say celebration as in say 6 March. Okay, yeah, so what? yeah, that's why I'm imagine say like I'll share my thoughts on this.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you guys very much, sir. Yetima Koran here introduce you. But before we really go into the topic of today, there's a question which I was thinking about today, which I want to ask you guys to, if you can share about that. If I was to take you back to Ghana now, what is one fond memory that you have of Ghana that you are like, you know, dude, I miss this thing, this very thing. I wish I could have it every day. One actually, let me be specific and say one aspect of our independence celebration, what happens on the day, because I'm saying, you know, and at least Ghana, at least you've seen it somewhere. So what is one thing concerning like that celebration, and what one aspect be a happening? You are like, yo, this thing, I really love it. And I'll start, maybe that will give you guys room to think and share with us. One aspect that I really I used to love is that when the independence celebration was going on, that you find, because obviously when the celebration is happening on the 6th of March every year in the past, and all these school children are there ready to march, even though they are not going to get any food, nothing, they are not being paid, they are there. And what amazes me is like on the same ground where you find these students, you find people selling like ice cream and buffalo and all these things, meat pie and all these things. And at the same time, you have all these chiefs and all these people, all these big men. So it's like you have a full view of how the nation is on one ground in one place. And that for me, that image has always rung in my mind as a young person till now. That is something that I always I'm fond of and I'm amazed by. So yeah, I'm wondering what is one aspect of it, or I mean you can go broader if you want to talk about Ghana in general, one thing that you missed, it's okay. But that is just before we dive into the real matter at hand. So feel free, anybody. Let's all not talk at the same time, but feel free to jump in anytime.
Yeah, I think I'll start by saying that Miankasa no miniji Ghana Wankasa Swatia. And honestly, Gabriel, I've known you for like I think almost more than 20 years, yeah?
More than 20 years.
Okay. So since our time now you go school, maybe in Ghana, like for the past 20 years, I've not even stepped my feet on Ghana in Ghana. So I just say it's like those days. The last thing I could remember was Namu Wateshi. That like I used to I think it's 97, 95, 97. Because sometimes most of the time during the independence, we used to go with school and you call Independence Square, right? So the last time I really enjoyed our independence was where I had a chance to see our deceased Rollins, JJ Rollins, right? Yeah, because before yeah, call cadet. I don't know if I think so cadet, like yeah. So we've been seeing him most of the time. So by Independence Square and Camp 2 and those things. So that is actually the feeling that I miss. Like we all gathering in Machi, Machi across Independence. You see the police people, everybody, parading across the whole street. So that is something that I really miss, and also our cultural way of living. For instance, me work Accra, Teshino, now in Cranford, celebrate this kind of homo thing, right? So like we kind of walk along the street with them and be throwing minim say a toes quickly, like whatever they me say them like but like these are the things that I really miss. So like our cultural way of living, and also how we celebrated our independence. I know say probably nowadays it's been celebrated differently, but those days we all gather at Independence Square and then we march and then we you hymn your flags and all these kind of things and make merry. So that is what I really actually miss. Yeah.
Tell it, don't be a sheep. Brum.
No, okay. So to add up to Noakano, I want to say like we saw the thing about the independence celebration about usually the visuals, the things you see so more your mama second year holiday unko school, so it's exciting. And I mean I come from quite a large family, so it was really fun being home with your family. You play games, you watch TV. And I want to say like I'm going to like dip right now. Despite the fact that all those things were exciting, you grow up and you try to analyze. You grow up and you try to analyze the essence of the celebration. And looking at it now, and I realize that there's really nothing to have been excited about then. Because looking at how I see our crowd, these I think about now improvements, evolution. There say should always be changing and like progressing. But when you look back at that time now, we were all excited about it. Now you realize that there was really very little to be excited about. Looking at how our country is even at this point, and you say like what's exciting about it? It's only about the things I saw. Holiday, school. I just stay home with my family. People imagine at that time it was only GD. So it's like a new TV I'll be more match and the charisma of Rollins, so you see that on TV and it was exciting. I can't really think of anything I make us say I've something positive about it.
Hey, also be a Philly Rollins kakro. Hey, flight lieutenant.
Yeah, me to be honest, I have never experienced Independence Day in Ghana because yeah, when him say yeah, and they say Ghana is only during the July, August, and when you have summer vacation, as if and those kind of things. But the one thing I've seen, because for the past years I've also seen Independence Day on Ghanaian television channels and also on social media. I think so. The one thing I often see, and which I really like from the Independence Day, is that what you see is that for that particular day, you don't have MPP, you don't have NDC, you have CPP. You just have Ghanaian as a collective celebrating a day. And for me, it shows that day, yes, beside the fact that it's a holiday, and beside that, you see that people really come together and rally up together behind the flag and say, so you know what, let's put everything aside, let's just celebrate our country. And for me, that is something which I really like from Independence Day, that people just leave everything aside. Maybe what they think about something, they just put it aside and they say, let's all rally behind the flag and let's celebrate our country for what it is. That's what I really like from Independence Day.
Wonderful. And Nanama Israel. Also, so is there something that you remember concerning the Independence Day? Ansana, and guys, for all those watching, feel free to comment below. And at some point, there is going to be a WhatsApp, a Zoom thing going on now, and then you can join in and then say what you want to say. So stay tuned and feel free to comment and let us know. Nanama Antonia.
Oh yeah, me dear. Yeah. I do Independence manager. So you call matching on my nice. Yeah, because yes, sister like Miss Sano. Yes, you say a Jew every group be the way, but so school. I said because youth like as Adventists now, Adventist youth not training match that I bought drums into the drums and drum major and youth flag. So me not me come match in the mask. I remember primary school not me school encore. I always want to go to with the church, like my name is sister. Then here we are. Every group will be a koi be. I know match and nice. So every 6 months you'll be looking forward to that. And it's not only about the fun, but the fact to say, Caulfield, so I call match like with the dressing that day and everything is different. And the difference is not say be atmosphere near different. And like Ubeshia Ngofo na winning mama from different schools. Near John or mama will be a fan as like it was nice. I mean, so you don't have any other way they're not manage it. Yeah. And a holiday and so and to me coaching now what to
say you much your money on a different level. Well, Obika, I think you grew a seminar so baby cake na kasa one baby then because let's be honest, on the 6th of March 1957, as they say it, is when Ghana got the permission to leave its father's and mother's house. And for 64 years, we've been celebrating that time frame. Now, say, we were able to secure ourselves and come out and go where we ought to go. But the question now is the Ghanaian independence worth celebrating? I mean, every year we all share these fun memories that we jumped on when we were young, but like now we are old and we are looking back, and obviously we are the ones carrying on the mantles. And I mean, when I say we, I don't necessarily mean, I mean, yeah, it could be us, it could be our children, it could be our friends and family back home, but more or less we all contribute to something in the world. So when I say we, yeah, I think it's right that I say we. So is it actually worth celebrating? And I think I'll jump onto my big man, Don't Be a Sheep, because he started going some way. And I think I'll start from here and then we'll just kind of like work around that. So, boss, the word is
yeah. Yeah, so when I was ending my first resubmission, when you look back at how I first know, I don't really know, but how I mean, kind of when I was growing up, no. Now there was something peculiar about the Independence Day celebration. You could see people were more passionate about it then than now. Meaning, say, the analysis on the media or seeing things differently. Because he say, when it's in, because what was it? I think say 3 years ago, Independence Day in Ghana. The way celebration when you to see Abontia, people seemed like they were not really bothered. Unlike in prior years, no, you could see people were actually excited about the Independence Day celebration. No. So I think I'll say presently, people are now woke. Oh, before I start analyzing the situation, it's actually worth because this topic I yet discussed is in the past. No, I've heard people also ask the same question: is the Independence Day worth celebration? In the country, we can't really boast of independence because, like, we share the true definition of independence. I mean, like, to a very large extent, you can be on your own if you are not getting supported by any other person. But I will share Ghana situations. It's like we can't do without the influence of the Westerners. We can't really take decisions on our own without them chipping in and telling us what to do. The idea is as if we have to run it by them before we do it. So the question then becomes what is really independent about our Independence Week celebration? Because we share something as trivial as toothpick, you will still have to import it. So, like, if the countries that you import these tiny little things from, if they are not there, can you actually survive on your independence? So, like me, sometimes when you are talking about these things, now I'm careful. The pain and how passionate you get about it, you end up using certain words on person, you get emotional, then you start saying things out you've not actually intended to say. I think say me here for now. Because the more I talk about it, the more passionate I become.
but you would say like it's not necessary to really celebrate it now.
Well, the celebration, if we are celebrating Ghana celebration, if you are celebrating something that happened in the past with certain ideologies and they be moving to independence now, fine, let's celebrate something that has happened in the past. But looking at where we are now, Ghana is not really independent. So if we are celebrating if you are celebrating the Independence Day with that in mind, say, first, now our people were being oppressed. Well, we were being oppressed. I say we have some sort of liberty now. Although still we are not totally independent, we have some sort of liberty now. No, we can celebrate that liberation now compared to the oppression we're suffering in the hands of the colonial masters in the past. Then we can celebrate the independence. But I don't know when you talk about independence, even in a broader sense, independence means you make your own decisions. But as you say, Ghana is actually making their own decisions. Like the way government no one has been able to take the power out of the hands of the white man. The white man is still in control. Until I say, if I don't want a monumental leader, be say yes, only right or because since you see if you come for when you are facing any financial difficulty, every time we bailout, a time will come. I will now be telling you what to do with your money. Because so much me so in this sense, I'm not really blaming the white man like some people who seek to do. I'm not blaming. I'm blaming we are not really living like an independent nation. We are still dependent. So we're not the independent celebration in there. You're celebrating like with what happened in the past. But it's not really independence to me personally, no.
Okay, okay. Maybe jump to Kofi because Kofi mentioned something in his submission previously. Now, I thought it was really remarkable because he mentioned that in the core, what lies in the core of the independence celebration, is that on that very day, everybody puts their differences aside, and so there's no MPP, NDC, and there's no CPP, JP, KKK. They all come together, and this kind of, oh wow, we are Ghanaians. This is who we are. We believe in what Dr. Nkrumah said, that our independence stems on nothing unless the rest of Africa is free. So on that day, there's this kind of like passion being laid out. So Kofi, I'll put it to you, like thinking in that sense, what is your opinion on this? Is it still necessary, or is this still worth celebrating the Ghana Independence Day?
Yeah, I think so. First of all, what I would like to share is that it is interesting to know that most of the times we refer to independence as 6th of March 1957. It's very interesting. The reason why I say it's interesting is that when we went through that process of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah declaring independence, technically speaking, you only declared Kwame Nkrumah to be the head of the government. But still, the Queen of Britain, or the United Kingdom, was still the head of states. So it is only until 1st July 1960, when Ghana officially attained the Republic states, where Kwame Nkrumah didn't only become the head of government, but also the head of what? States. So that's why, if you remember, before some changes were made, there was also something called Republic Day, which was almost on the 1st July, where we celebrate the fact that we then fully attained independence. Because now we were fully independent, because the head of government and the head of state were both a Ghanaian, in this case, Kwame Nkrumah, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So that is also something noteworthy. But for me, the question you posed to me is Ghanaian Independence Day worth celebrating? You see, you didn't even have to ask me. I replied you. I replied you. And the reason why I replied is because it referred me back to the statement Dr. Kwame Nkrumah made on the eve of independence. You remember the famous word where he says, "At long last, the battle has ended, and thus Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever." And that's how he starts. And you also made notion of that particular point where he said that our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of Africa. So let's be honest, based upon the question you just posted, and with the statement Dr. Kwame Nkrumah made, say that our independence is meaningless until the total liberation of Africa. Is Africa totally liberated?
Come on now.
You see, Africa's not yet totally liberated. So it means that the words of Dr. Nkrumah is still haunting us, that our Independence Day is still meaningless. But I don't even want to dwell on that particular point. I want to dwell on a point which our brother, not to be a sheep, let me call you this, not to be called a sheep, made. Because in the statement of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he said the following thing. He said this. He said, but also, as I pointed out, that also entails hard work. Tiani was saying that New Africa is ready to fight his own battles and show that, after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. The black man is capable of managing its own affairs. That the black man should be able to manage its own affairs. And let's be honest, and let's be sincere with ourselves. In connection with the question you asked, is the black man capable of managing his own affairs? Yes or no? The answer is a resoundingly no. And for me, because the black man is not capable of managing his own affairs, for me, Independence Day, for which Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had envisioned Ghana to be, unfortunately, it's not worth celebrating it. Because 64 years down the lane, the black man is still not capable of managing its own affairs. we are still taunting a mantra, Ghana beyond aid. But as we say Ghana beyond aid, when COVID strikes, we still need to go to the IMF and the World Bank to borrow 1 billion. So for me, if you tell me that is the Independence Day worth celebrating, if I look to the ideals and the ideology Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had for the country Ghana, and going and strolling down to memory lane and going to our 64th birthday, and we are not better off. And I think that the Ghanaian independence, we should think twice before we celebrate it. Yes, it's good. We are independent, we are free. But what's the essence of being free if you are still spiritually a slave? So for me, looking at the words Dr. Kwame Nkrumah spoke at that eve on the Polo Grounds, on that eve, and those prophetic words, saying that if Ghana is going to be independent, the black man should be able to manage his own affairs. And we are still not able to manage our own affairs. That I think we should reconsider our celebration of independence and start thinking about how can we make sure that the words Dr. Kwame Nkrumah spoke will be fulfilled, so we'll be able to truly and in a worthy way celebrate our independence. Because let's face the facts, since Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, you had Dr. Kofi Abrefo-Busia also overthrown. Then you had the generals. Then JJ came. Then JJ said, let democracy come again. Democracy come again. And now with JJ, we have Kufuor, then we have Mills, then we have Muhammad, then we have Akufo-Addo. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves, and let's tell the truth to ourselves. Because if you're honest to ourselves, then we can make the impact which we need to make. Has Ghana really moved? Has Ghana really made strides? I think when you compare it with the words of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, I don't think we have done that. That's my honest opinion.
Charlie, that's when my Panama home betia skipping now so at the also Hananama. If you did there, let's hear your voice. Same thing.
If I show my brother not to us why not member last me another meeting, sorry.
So okay, when I'm super in and what for Skippy? Is the Ghanaian independence? What quite different?
Yeah, I think say their brothers too, they've said it all, because sometimes many a times when you do something, when you celebrate something, you should know the core meaning of what you're doing, right? Understanding of what you are celebrating. And Sisiana, I said, Omokano, actually, why we really were celebrating it, because they're young Kolano. And when I say, I can say, oh, JJ, Banana, we move forward and then, yeah. But what I was also thinking was, say, Omokasano, I had so many thoughts in my mind, like questions, coming up. And one of the questions that came up was, why even the independence? Why the proclamation of Kwame Nkrumah during that time? I don't know, make this proclamation. So what did I say? At long last, the battle, your friend is whatever.
Ended.
Yeah. I was thinking, say, our main understanding about independence was the fact, say, you're free slavery. So that is what I personally think, say, because say so as in that physical treatment, like more treatment in any of those kind of things, that is why we celebrated independence as Omashe Swache, right? Omo slavery, like Oma Boyache, Omo Didi Atamache, like they have suppressed us so long. In that say so I was thinking, see, that independence now most of the time they celebrate, it's based on that physical part, So and now we are also dealing with something that's psychological part. Yeah, brothers in the kind say we are actually not independent, because at the end of the day, if the right man is to tell us what we have to do, then where is the liberation? You know, we've been liberated from certain things, but then the main thing, which is the psychological part of it, we have not been liberated from. So as I say, you know, the question is, do we have to celebrate it? I personally think, say, yes, we have to celebrate it, but then our thinking also should, you know, then change if we are to celebrate it. So what I say, because Sanya man can or say I don't know or say or can say or can the buye and the buye and the buye because there are so many, yes, because I was very frustrating. We have declared these things every year on the 6th of March. Yeah, like we spend time but we have to understand, say, are we going forward? Are we going forward? So what I say, because as of now, I think, say, that liberation has also got to do with the fact that, you know, mean to me can say, oh, we shouldn't celebrate, and as we should celebrate because that we still have this kind of trade going on. The whites also trade with Africa. They also trade with different countries. So the question that were coming in my mind was like, are the whites also then, you know, are they also the master of everything? I don't think they are the master of everything because they're also trading with other countries. So what I say, of course, Africans and well, I mean Ghana, because yeah, of course, Ghana, we have our independence. But our government should also do better. Should also implement their own way, their own laws, and their also if anything, they should come up with their own rules and regulations. So as I say, because if you are still dependent on their abroad, for instance, Nancy Trump, you see what Trump now the following day, I think said, sorry, Trump can say he is not going to concede for his friends a defeat, you know. The following the one Ghana, so you see what I mean, like that would be a copy paper, say paper was a ballot, you know, what look at this. Yeah. So it's, you know, it's like we look up to the whites. It's like we look up to the whites, and then we live our lives based on what the white man is doing, which doesn't make us like independent. So I think that kind of that psychological part, no, we are still lacking. Those said slavery, no, physical part needed as your idea. So what I say, but say the mana ebema ya adwene abaya on so you want buy like. Yeah, I don't know even how to say, like to come a friend saying to be conscious of the things that we lack on. We are still lacking it. We are still lacking it. So it is worth thing, but I think we have to change our mind also to really understand why we celebrate it. Yeah.
Our thinking faculty is not going to. Now, are you ready, Anna?
That's it. Yeah, question now. Say yen celebrate Ghana Independence Day, and I say may yen celebrate it. I don't know if scholars will help me out there. Celebration and remembrance, the same thing. I think say to me, you know, I think say we have to observe it, like remember it, but we don't have to celebrate. Say asking how you're celebrating, because celebration, call. She said I'm can maybe some better finance there. I don't have a problem, but the call Debian call na symbolic marching and display nyoma like your culture nyoma display you're good, but should it be only the 6th of March and you say as Ghanaians you were rich culture, and I say after that no all we do is say penny for no then spend huge sums of money at the party, like eating and drinking. You know, message we are useless. Sometimes I don't even know how to put it. At the expense of the ordinary Ghanaian, because Ghana niakwala wakona mwevia so wamachi we yenya independence blah 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 Nigeria, but then after that not much one city Fana is their man na yogurt. In yogurt in because yogurt ne boy didn't say fancy. And then they once no more their mind. And then no omoko banquet. Baby. Mako Gio when I'm discana Gio when yakoya di omope. And then we come back to square one. Then we have so many people suffering. Even Yaba marching or crowd field no no. Say nyami amwa na obi pass out obi because probably the journey to the hospital no enye in a good condition. You better not to motorbike, you better not to obi car, obi taxi mo handling it it's not done by professionals. I think even more injuries will be caused, harm will be caused before so be do hospital do I know. Argentina, yeah, I remember, yeah, like we should observe it because Ghana on the 5th of March 1957, Yenya independent. Now Yakai say Yenya independent. It should be a reflection point. After independence, now yes, are we liberated? Are we like really liberated? And I say, yeah, truly, Yenya independence. And I be me the I think say it's just another trick to spend money and to go for banquet and parties to meet up more friends and concubines and all these people. I don't care or more but from generation to generation asana ISI particular government before now it's the same every year. 6th of March near different parks so now ya march ye wi ampanifo akọje o na ade ache 7 na 365 days aba then the same routine, nothing is changing. So also what do who if be more say if you are independent like say you can't be independent say or to me edi hustle or to me ya ne nioma without the help and I said with little help from somebody else. Independent now. Oh yeah, what say I call rely on the same people to dictate for you because OJ and what few mohon countries be anywhere here or monje one few be but then and one or mojeno and my more than slaves than say independent. This is my understanding because say OJ more few when I say nipa dictate because of in Mwabi or Diamawa. Then also we independent now join our party akese na mo chrewe is it only on 6 months the best yeah faster when your reflection point say Ghana ye did 60 years nip obia nipa bia di 40 years ekwa or tena say shane hono why self actualization. What have I achieved for myself? I believe as a country this is what we have to do. Say na yet to me achieving in our 60-something years, 60-something, we nipa by now no wako pension. Oh baby are better. Oh do obedi. To me jina wana so without really daily relying on someone. They to you but you say we have all the mineral resources. And see na they bia yen tada yen sema ye gu so ko asresre then we cannot reflect on say dear parentina and kunuma jina say or pursue independent more developed countries how did they develop develop so I don't think that we have to celebrate any remembering. I think to me there's a thin line in young Kaiser but a reflecting point and a turning point for the country than say could be a machine baby now ha coca a hip ya sala ni ye and ya saga independent thing near bonyo near sana near useless. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the Mokani really, really down to earth. I mean, it's just basically a clear assembly because as you are saying it, I also side with you all. Say I think we should be acknowledging the steps that was started, evolving from 1957 all the way to the time that we became republic, and say okay, what are the things that we are in need of, and start working on that because let's be honest with each other. Like within the setting of Ghana, and I think say when you are 60 years and you go for pension, out here, I think say either 65 or 67. Like changes every time, so I don't know. But let's say if you go for your pension at 67 now. Now Ghana is 64 years old, so it's got 3 years. So has it got enough? A japadia will me atna waka say, okay, I have enough to live by, and also for my the next generation to also work by and live by. But then my next question to you guys is then, because all that we have been speaking about has been, if I've judged it well, it is geared towards the leadership. But should we just be looking at the leadership, or that this aspect of revamping our mindset concerning the Ghana independence, and does it have to do with the ordinary Ghanaian as well? Because, for example, Nanama example, no. Okay, so before say mama then the ordinary Ghanaian is saying, well, why am I going there? Because that time now, you know, I could be using that to work maybe at the bank, or I could be using that to work in the hospital, or I could be using that to do something productive. It will move the country to the next level. So why should I be doing it there? I think, say, if the ordinary person is challenging the leadership, the leadership will now have to then reconsider their way. But I'm wondering what your thoughts are, whether within this type of reflection, whether it should just be the leadership that gets the blame, or it's just the ordinary person that should get the blame, or should both sides raise up their hands and say, hey, we've all got a part to play within this dimension. So is there something that we can do? I'll come to you again. Don't be a sheep, and see what you've got concerning this.
Okay. Yeah. Now I have to be Nanama something came to mind about one thing that she said. Say, is independence the same as is independence the same as something? She may feel the exact word that she used,
Liberation.
but it goes
Remembrance.
Yeah. So I think probably maybe we are actually celebrating the wrong thing, because Ghana is really far from independence. It maybe we should celebrate something which is like a subset of the independence. You know, liberation. It goes into that. Social remembrance. It goes into that. Social freedom. It goes into that. Probably we have those ones, because you say, you know, it's not as if say like Omudi, so say they are actually on the streets working as like they used to in the past. In Ethiopia, we can celebrate that subset of the whole independence, you know, and not really the whole thing as an independence country. Because I know I think that we are really far away from it. And then secondly, to answer the question of whether the responsibility is on the leaders and on the citizens, no. Well, I think to a very large extent, no, we should each be responsible for however our lives turn out and whatever mindset we have. But in as much as I will concede that is what should happen, the other part of it is that we have leaders. And if you put someone in a position, that means you look up to that person. So if we are looking up to someone as our leader now, what is the what is the impact that the person is making in our lives? If the person is not actually empowering us and making us feel say Yankasa as Ghanaians, we can be proud of ourselves and do everything on our own. Actually hold everything and be like, oh yeah, Ghana, for this is the way we do things, and this is how it's going to be done, and we are able and we are strong enough, and we have all the resources to do everything. Now we won't the ordinary person will also not feel inferior to the white person. Because you know, Ghana, we just go on the street and talk to anyone, say, oh, everyone seems to be excited. You get only a handful of people like excited about living in Ghana. A lot of people want to travel out, because some of them say they will get a better life there. They will have access to basic things that need to be in here. This day and age, a lot of places. Kumasi, there are a lot of places. Maybe the Kumasi Bay example, because I lived there for about 7 years, and I lived within 7 years in now 3 different places. I dispersed all over Kumasi. Pepe anywhere, make say minya potable water. No me. I had to go and buy this big poly tank. Now my kwako tunes you every 2 weeks. Biamiko tunes you tanker. Normally about big. So if we are looking at all of these things now, you can see that people will actually not be proud of like living in the country. What is the point of the independence celebration? And then up to this present day, and it's UK. I think a couple of years ago, I can't quite remember, celebrating 100 years of way, no power outage. I don't know if any of you remember that. A couple of years ago, UK celebrated here. But look at Ghana's situation. We can't even go a full week without, we can't even go a full day without any area reporting, say, my light and call off. Then what are we celebrating? Secondly, across the globe, let me use Netherlands as an example. Netherlands, they get sunlight just about a very, very minute way percentage throughout the year. But solar panels, I've forgotten the name of the area. A very, very big stretch of land. Solar panels be brave from one end. It's like a whole town. Solar panels in Kwa, I generate electricity. Ghana, since time and Chroma set it up, Akosombo Dam. You see, how many years ago? No one has been able to look for another source of electricity for the country. Everyone is Akosombo Dam. No, then we have to ration power. No leader will have the sense say, oh, let's look for other avenues. Solar woho, inframa woho. There are lots of people have generated electricity. They know they have people who have gone out of the country to study these things. If there is no implementation, then what's the point of your knowledge?
Yeah.
No, so all of these things, let's say, in 24 Nankasa, they have a lot to do. They have a very, 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 very big what to do. They have to change your Nankasa almost personally. They also change your mindset about Africa, about Ghana, and about Africa. You can't rely on them forever. And I wish Ghana Krano, reliance of them no your phone be break because Ghana as you say you too gold, you too oil. But you things no. A fraction of it. The greatest majority no goes out of the country. So what is the essence? Because all that we are even getting out of it, it's almost irrelevant. And Kakrana Ebani, so it goes into the pocket of just the people. Really sad.
Yeah.
Tom Asha atwa so na skip ya bana fede na na mana fede ye twekọ awiya anu eti no
yeah, you know, once ensemble ho unhunu sena obeka no kra na ma wow cast no ebe akona ede ama because it's very painful. It's very painful, and that's why I made a statement that if the black man is not able to manage its own affairs, then what is the essence of independence, according to what Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said? Because, to be honest, Osaji for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, for me, is not an ordinary person. He's not an ordinary person. And when I say he's not an ordinary person, the reason I'm saying that is because in every period of time, somebody influential pops up. And that influence, when it pops up, he changes something in the world's history. By God's grace, we had such a person, which is Osaji for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who changed history. Where even people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, from the outside, were even referring to him as a person of influence. And we've had this man in our country, and this man had his vision for how he would develop the country. And unfortunately, things didn't go the right way, and enibre and greediness. You see, the strange thing about Ghana is that I read somewhere in one of those articles, and it said that when you look to Ghana, it is one of the countries with the most laws. With the most laws. Ghana is the country, if you had to make a list with the amount of laws they have, Ghana is probably in the top 10. But upe country a dream, katashishe, proye, kronu, suwo hopadia, also go to Ghana. Do you see the problem here?
Yes.
And for me, I don't see it as a issue with the leadership or a issue with the people themselves. You see, let's be honest with ourselves. Se obinya dibrebi, obinya kwanya bi se onkotena baby. The first thing coming into mind is, hey, I can now take care of my family and my friends and myself. That is the mentality most Ghanaians have. But when a particular person becomes a president or a minister, he doesn't think so. Hey, the no, he doesn't. He or she doesn't think that. He or she thinks about the facts and say, hey, now I can have money for my family, etc., etc. Only trying to enrich themselves. How can a country move on like that? How? It's not possible. And the problem is that what is going to happen is that the people who benefit, that small group, will keep on getting richer and richer and richer. And we, the poor ones around it, we will get poorer and poorer and poorer. And because we see that we're not part of that group, we want to force ourselves to be part of that group. Because when we become part of the group, our mindset will also be, let's make sure that our family also gets something to eat. You get this chain reaction. And this cycle, it will keep on. And I can assure you that this cycle has gone on since Dr. Kwame Nkrumah until now. How do you move ahead? We have all the minerals in the world, but it is not our own companies who are extracting those minerals. It's not our own countries. Now, say company or no extract company or say when a company are no so extract in our own yeah, and then make sure say you have a majority share and this is a minority share. So the money required, where does the money go? UK, any gold. UK or money gold. When they need gold, they come to Ghana to get gold. That's why Ghana was called Gold Coast. But ask yourself, between Asante Hene and the Queen, who has more gold? Between Asante Hene and Queen Elizabeth, who has more gold? How is that possible? How those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. How is it possible? But if I had to put the blame between the leadership and the people, I'll put the blame on the leaders. Because the idea of the leaders is that the leaders should be able to lead the people to a particular place. But if you come with bad mentality, if you come with that ajinfina, what is going to happen is that you breed more corrupt people. Because people have the idea that I also have to be part of that elite group. But that elite group does not have the welfare of Ghana in mind. The only thing they have in mind is to make themselves rich and the people around them rich. And if that is the case, Ghana, you see, the reason why I love the Netherlands, it's not because I lived there or because I was born there, but it's because you can see that the way the things are structured. If you want to make money, you don't have to be a politician to make money. It's not possible. If you want to make money, you really have to go into the gutter and rise yourself up before you can become a rich man. But it's only in Ghana that a person who enters politics who has nothing and only share, but only 4 years per Obun no see and then 24. How? 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 The taxpayers' money, which should be used to make sure that there will be infrastructure in the country, to make sure that the normal citizens who are living in the country should be able to experience a good life, a good social infrastructure. Next, that's gonna be no or the other or the pair.
But yes, na.
We know. Open no say sikana ashe, sikana ashe, sikana ashe. No, Otumisha onim say I know sikana ashe. Why? Because he or she feels that the money he now has, and in the open mind open beer, but doesn't think about the welfare of the Ghanaian, the ordinary Ghanaian. I was discussing this with a friend of mine, and we discussed about Accra. He said, "Hey, Accra is but we should no we should Amsterdam panake, enkai. You bet me Camo, you bet me Abama, pipelines. Yes, let me say, Onia, I didn't dare forget it, because in order for it to be changed, now you need to remove the whole of Accra, then put Accra back there. Ain't not possible.
Exactly.
Ain't not possible. Ain't not possible because yes, I didn't say that. Even if you want to change the infrastructure, let me give you a very simple example: the road between Accra and Kumasi. How many accidents do we get on that road?
Thank you.
But the solution is simple. Dualize the road. Dualize the road. And this is Bobo also on yet. Accra to Tema. The accidents which will happen there, it's because of the fact that the roads have to be dualized. But we won't do it. We'd rather use the money to chop ourselves, and they have a partner say your MPs, your prime ministers be near you, or if you say sorry say prime minister, your ministers be they instead of this kind of they're giving it to girls, the girl won't go school down here, or drive the Range Rovers, or they could be there or tax-based money, never sure. Why?
Now driving
and yeah, for free, though.
Of course, not for free, but so I've been a guy who didn't go to my miss Maduaya. I've been a guy. But the point I'm trying to make is that in order for us to get from that quagmire, which is still sinking us, we need to have leaders who say, so no, enough is enough. We're going to think about developing the country only, just developing the country. That vision Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had, that we want to develop the country so that Ghana will be the beacon. And by God's grace, I don't know how. I always say to people, I don't know how, that for the past 64 years, you haven't heard that Ghana has had a civil war. Uko Nigeria, Mujashie, Uko Ivory Coast, Mujashie. But Ghana has always been a beacon of hope, a beacon of rest, a beacon of some kind of, peace. And that's something to go forward. But we should build upon that and make sure, our leaders will lead us into the promised land, and that we will have leaders who will develop us, who will build us, and will build the country, so that when the young ones coming, we don't have the idea, so, I'm coming to enrich myself. No, I'm coming to give my little bit to the development of Ghana. That is how I see that it should happen in order for us to grow. If that doesn't happen, I don't see how it's going to happen. And you will see next year, we'll come again here and we'll see that and we'll talk. It will lambast again because there has been no change. There has been no change.
You're very listed the same list now.
Yeah.
You're going to number, so you're going to skip this one, but now you're pushing your hook to the end.
Yeah.
Now, the same
Yeah,
thing.
okay. Yeah, me that's not. Madam Fubino de Ibitone WhatsApp status to say before no almost say education is the key, but we at school now need a change key and politics is the key. And yeah, sometimes media I don't support mobile social media like Kasanom the your leaders. Who are the leaders? Leaders are not among to one your common floor members, not be your leaders. Youth not most of the youth corrupt crashing and penifona you feel some your leaders because so it's a leaders no leaders. Nobody was born a leader like mobile no mabejani at Yankasa nipa no yama leaders na corrupt. For instance, say ye obi MP and I even MP bakubi assemblies like because a council because a council assemblies say you be assembly not say every way be no funeral be a beba area no mu ho no, he must attend. And Obama say Obemane 10 cedi, Obemane 20. Ombeka say nti assembly man pana okra here okra anya fe. Assembly man pana obema contribution wo funeral see a oma yen 10 cedis oma yen 20 cedis. Enti nipa no be den ono so ntumi enye se oye failure sa was say or chere say yes ono so waba ya kasa ye nipa no we expect so because politics ma or change overnight like all of a sudden now asesa it is a once sakra na then ye hu ni say onye normal adanam ni Gabriel kamika say enti de bia na young people bia but no so no di empenifo atem as big as you are as educated as they are no ba ko anami no kran to me sorry nka say ade ya omo ye die atame omo di me de mani nje ho ana say like we crampo na bia e na busuam a you're nowhere me obi any or yeah close to me education wise in wisdom everything and so nipa no to be just because of social media no odi atame na penny for and ministers and we identity too be cry to me sorry ngina enya change of mind say hey there sika kakra no mo dia maye no je the best develop ye area ye fit ye be ye na say ye ka enya say identity na mo nyina mo ntumi enye te say de this person or that person you know nanka omomba meye kind of benchmark be so obi animo owo nyasa we ni 3 man like dana make a me say menti ase say obi aniwo a just enka omo ana are they really humans like say because obi e kasa ye mpanifo omo ye wicked ye mpanifo omo ye say omo ntumi say they have to like do this mo nyina omo tu kwan ba outside obi anya sika no abeto dan wo Europe no akoto dan wo America because economy nya wo there o yare a recently say minister ba wa ye vetting on to me nko because wanya after post covid symptoms into yes or call America say he ko sane ho ya when I saw na my so angry say enti no passion say omonya post covid symptoms do they come to Ghana for Yana say almost recover for until Obabeye we ni couldn't you have done something just one na eno meye benchmark be like me my dream ho amenti na say uncle focus say oh yes sana youth no come here corrupt down like omo mbegu mo beto man no every back because the thing is o share obi nipa na o kasa no the all abegina social media o di atem na o kasa mpenifo no simply because what you kwan anya ejuma kakra bia ye enya sika kakra go ne bottom sa nipa no o de hwe odu Ghana de na wo ye o chika anyhow police gina na officer o scanty obetumi ayi sika ma sa me no me ba koma foforo no na papa bia say o ye Ghana ni go bia fe no ofa na our company na or the boa amount for like especially guys na omunyi nyomanda omoye about construction niwe de bia say oba like ye kwasa na ehia na oya otewa odwen wonte ase he na omunyi nyomanti woje nkofo nyoma na ode ahyem na ode amom na sika na ba na ono de boa obi a woni bi na say be ono so benya kakra de bia ma na busua no na nipa na aye ne nyoma no because of aye we ntimi pese meka na enti nipa na aye ne nyoma na sika na aba beto na ayi mo no obeyi sika na ma nipa no obi de ne ochina omo yesa ma guy ba ko omo tu no koda wo mu wa abonti aka wo just because said that man nipa ndi sika beba no ene ochina sa ofatna ase no say se me hu se sa ankofo we bi kwa sorry ana mu gina ba bi ka se ena Ghana penifo ise Ghana wo obi sika 350 pounds abeto account mu ube yama nipa no eya wo ja enya wo sika unkoye ejuma nya sa sika nya wo dia na se ocha ye kuku ede wakosi Ghana as a president and as a minister now ote that big way anymore account in anymore and no the obemo obi biadi you know wow the kids one 350 pounds na ya so be now ye de wakwatu sika bebre anymore no and no the obetumi yi bia ma obi otumi fa anya hwe sa anti say yansesa ye mentality from akwala ya won na na say even the ye nyan wo no na afa ne ye ba be wo no enne e wo Ghana kopin ye mpanyim for so year in and year out be the same youth no compare corrupt mpanyim for no onya sika kakra okwa Ghana de onim obi wo ha okwa Ghana obeja social media kan hwe mfon sa okodura de oya ne so obekwa kopɛ ka kese na wodem ene ma ofre we wo ha no ofre we wo ha ofre we ha no ofre we enti no sai kakra we oba bochire benya kwa de ode ye na imagine say ye na koye minister akoye president dia na obekwa akoye wo ye hear that change of mentality said now ka say lost doors for Ghana lost no doors be mu bi ani ho ye ejuma the law only works when nisika and now say uni mobia uni connection kana wiska law na nye ejuma ma because I didn't say obia hwehwe de ono no ye police ni na ono be fa asem na de akọ nani mo no ono no hwehwe de ne ye obenya gu ni bottom no so de kakra ko chesi girls na de ono so kakra de ono so benya ayi kakra o si case we de ba me fa nko nani mo okodu court ho a prosecutor no so krampo no na ya so o fa no de court judge no so pe kakra ono so anajo de pa check ni how far say ba ko so tumi bo mmode na ekodu judge nani ma judge no so pe kakra de pa check ni how far because internet kakra nti de ono o je show za police ni na sergeant na nam kwan mu ho no ono no nka oye na adwuma yi a na we ye na adwuma na we ye na adwuma yi ka bedu top ho na kamera be ye adwuma but freedom ha kosi a mra na nye adwuma nti ye nyina nye leaders na nko a de bia me hu omo ba shi leaders na me nti omo ase obi a kola openyi obi organ bia say ye change your mentality ya ansesa ni ye kum sa leaders we ye wo ho ni nyina kra nda ye be ye new one youth for mo 35 eno kwa de na asem na say beton Ghana me nam ka jo ye beton Ghana na am de sesa na bre ya yete ase because untumi nkonti ye do say sesa be bro like me no me share bi no musuban na so mbetena na me share de omo kire obi wo ho a onya sika keto bi ba ne nsem na de wo kire na ono wote we dipani bi aka ya na omo ho ye mesere ye say so person hu obi true character fasika ne nsem nti no de ono wote wo na okasa odi hia na ekasa odi hia ke kan nsem fun because osika na ba ne nsem a actually nsem ko obetumi aye de ono kase ma betena broche e na behwe ya kwan e na behwe is there bi liberation na ye hia no enye mpanimfo no ne hia ye hia free de akola ya wo nenne bebesi akufo adoso ye nyina ye hia sa liberation no wo ya adwen mu sa total liberation ye nya ye because the adwen nyina ne say be nya ka kase adam flashy things me first na me ye ejuma oba papa bia na me ne ye ejuma no papa pin o ye na in Nigeria me na me bu ne pana o dia oba introduce guy bi small guy na wa school say oh na on ne papa na wo fe na mo ye military men na ono nya akwa ba papa na convention na ba na school akwa no ne ho a kire no na o ye se metimi aboa na opa bia tena na nyame ado ye ne Ghana ni boy bi kasa e na okokoti na ne nchen afedie ejuma na meboa na onya no pe ejuma 2 hours bi na oye me ni nkofo kasa wa sori na onya ejuma bi ye bi wo ha no abafia me sister ye ja no ni ya frɛ no bi wo ba me si o ji kakra na ifa adana that time na ache na that phone with BlackBerry na minim types na ba no as o slide open na aba so na any new type na aba that year I said one day obafia okuta BlackBerry that type na me say brana we o say onim say ye tia mekano na was me kokoto because ye a lot for them men a lot for the your friends assessing with the asset ayewo nti was me kire mo say oh really na me abeto mo han de imagine eti wahu oni sika ketu obi a wuni adwuma 2 hours spend na ye tua o kana o to ne o ma kese ma wo friends who say wo so wo ye bra like one mentality no enti no nipa say no obi a wa school or be na masters obi a wa school enti obi o ba ka say obi o ko school nya fa bi eni netiri nipa say okokonya position a e de corner na wo kwa eti ye hia say obi a be sesa na adwen na ye nyina ye de ye nyansa bom governance na enye president na enye minister so governance ye nyina o man ni nyina na ye yi ebinum so omonda ya no enti ye nyina na ye eboa mana ye se meme ne o ye area ye timi contribute na ye bibia ebe pushi mpanimfo no amomo aba betwa so but me no te ho na da bia ye twen se opani bi na beba ye we a ukọ Ghana ba bia sika 40 pa na ho na akwan na nyame am wo fa ka ho bi e ho akwan no ewurade se unkuta tracker untumi ho adan me kwa mbusa ne se 2018 mbusa se no si adan yesisi adan na makosi so aban na me na me so me nfa me sika ma me because o mo tie nyina mu sika adwene bi anim ebia na obehwe me but onim say adwene bi anim ka kire say nyansa bi ani asem a wo kan anka mo nyina mo boaboa no aban bi pa na say on utumi me campaign wa because ya na ye kwan ya o chena no baba be ye bi atoa so say kwan na utumi ye baba see hospital like I say but ye say ya adwan ye say ye nyina ye nko ne sa na de e ba cha ba je say ye koso na ye ka. But I don't agree with mom be jina no mo didi atem penny for nyam penny for ye kan wo bi ye nyina like nkola penny for youth obi aka wo bi adwene na nye nti ye sesa ya adwene no ye sesa fi nkola no mu a sa effect no ripple effect e be affect penny for no ama omoso asori ayi juma
yeah that's what preach but me kukuru dia ma na friend saying also can I drink a because I'm saying so far no manya as a feeling no akwa say binum kasa before now see etimi gina mo so say we have to put fire in their shoes but the business say the ordinary Ghanaian also needs to change their mentality. But Skippy, what do you say?
Yeah, I think say Oma Kanina, I just want to say something small. Now your friend is saying, I think say me ba broche no abwa me ewo nyama bebre ho, right? And I'm also very happy to also have lived in Ghana to see the system there, right? Right now, no. Oba me ba broche, there are so many things I've learned, which is one of them say Imraye Juma, senior sister Nika and any yeah brother no so kind no. Imraye Juma. The only thing I want to say is say as a Ghana say kasi independent. I think say we should also set the example. Say we are independent. We have to let people know. Say we are independent because as an independent country, no, we our country cannot be called a third world country, right?
Yeah.
Into as a Imraye Juma. Oshe first class countries now first first world countries are I refer to countries in Imraye Juma. Third world countries in Brian Juma into poverty. Here said they're very, very, very high. So what just here. So yeah, to me, in Brian Juma, all these things, would also come down. And we also have to hold in Penifone responsible because of course, on my any like the civilians, right? Say Abano is coming up with laws, rules and regulations. Now, you're to me end this one. Who are we going to blame? Oba Brochia, your friend is saying, Imraya Juma. Yakasi men ko ha unko. Yakasi men diwe undi. Yakasi men for her own for her. So what I say, but Ghana, yakasi men for her no more. Honum crana yede, unko for bakofa. In Imraya Juma. It's no me no. The only thing I want to say is Imraya Juma. Now you to me who say okay, independence, when they say celebrate, you who say okay. And I say be a kai ya but you just say if we be more, we have gotten to a better place, we have gotten to a better life. So what I say, because as of now, no, those a country has moved forward, no. I mean, can we be happy with the way we are now? So can we be happy with the way we are now? Then sometimes and most of the time youth blaming penny for say. Can you just imagine? Abroche say, and I say made the Abroche and compare Ghana, but sometimes you have to make the comparison to see what is really going wrong in our country. Say your false set be on my opinion, and I say if you have been placed in a position, it is a responsibility to come up with so many things like to implement rules and the law and the regulation and to make sure that they work. Can you believe say in Ghana police vote to me esa palogo. Police vote to me on the street. To me sa one corner. I mean, I say almost set examples. They are doing this. How can we, the civilians, also come up with good examples? So I just say, the only thing I want to say is, if we truly believe that we are independent, because none of us believe that we are independent. None of us believe that we are independent. We are only celebrating it for celebrating sake. The only thing we have to really celebrate is say, oh, we now have our freedom. We have our freedom. Say, physically, no, they are not lashing us on the street. They are not maltreating us on the street. So as I say, but we can proudly say, okay, wow, say, okay, say, or maybe no more perfect. So as I say, but if you call yourself a third country, then you're not independent. That is all what I can say. If you call yourself a third country, because Ghana is seen as a third country, and a developed country, and all these developed countries are being seen. My friends, because so our resources, we have everything. We have everything. And I say for about 54 years. Your friend is saying long cry. There has not been any kind of civil war, and I be able to better saying to come. So there are certain things your friend say we should be proud of. So what I say, but we can never be proud of all these things. Those say but you so what I say, that is what I think say we are lacking. Say Imran Nyejuma, a Kotifo na ya from say, a soldier for na ya from say, oh, they should make sure say there is peace and order. For instance, COVID can stay home and do all these things. Upia near show. Yeah, show. They said yeah, those time no, yeah, time you go school GSS, you to me so to near show no. We soldier for pa near show pa the ma. Well, near sa ka se kotuna sorry. Well, do attempt. We are even enslaving ourselves. It is a country we are independent, and we are far from that. We are far from that. And that is what we are lacking. So the only thing I think one of the things that we can do to improve our system is to make sure say ministers and MPs and your friends and presidents and all these your friends and more positions. They should make sure say and everybody should say if you're not abiding by the rule, if you're not a law-abiding citizen, you should be held defenders accountable. So obedi rough, even minister be rough kwana is sanction ya chinutum. So what I say, but Ghana no sana yen na yin no corruption. What the real question is obeje no clear no. So what I say, so that is also something we are lacking, corruption and say Imrabe Juma. So that is the letter that I can add to what our brethren has said. Yeah,
I think what you guys are saying is on point. I mean, if you are like even an example is Sarkozy said, even though on shape prison, but
sentence.
I mean, in which African, let's be honest, in which African country do we dare say, Chale, what is Kakra? And you there for 1 week, even 1 day? There's no way. There's no way. Oh, no way. I'm saying Skippy can be, but Skippy, I'm saying 1 minute.
Sorry. My bad. My whole thing is, why should we let the white man decide for us who to imprison and who not? Because Charles Taylor, to me about the Hague, to be imprisoned. I don't know more Makano. Like why can't we ourselves? I mean, I don't know. Yankasi to me and Chomuntum near Chema or Bruni. I can say, oh, okay, where I be being near Fanamra the Hague, not on Bedim. So what I say. Meanwhile, there are so many people around that. They are all like corrupt people. Over to much or too. Imbra is not working, and that is what we are lacking.
I think the point is very interesting in the sense that you quite remember, sir. Just recently, there was something going in Nigeria, NSAS. It's very interesting to know, sir, there was no Ghanaian president, or sorry, not Ghanaian president, there was no African president who actually condemned what was going on in Nigeria. none of them condemned it. And she said, I was want to say, hey, Sana Musumutia said, my man be a idea, Mobaka and said, no, my idea, you don't say anything. So it means that exactly, but so it means that it will come to the point that
on say black.
Yeah, me too.
On say Black Lives Matter. There, you continue to crowd Ghana.
Even George Floyd,
Because
that had me buffalo rough. I'm going decoration at now. I said, more yeah. I know they want me to some from home back because it's so bad.
I say, why you're careful? Sometimes the passion in you, will lead you to a path that you end up insulting the people. And as you say, it's like, where are you going? Don't you really see? Don't you care? And I'll give an example, like as you guys mentioned, because in 2016, actually to be specific, 18 February, there was an accident between the Kintampo Tamale Road, where almost 53 people lost their life. The same week.
No, that day, that week, 100 and something people lost lives that week. Because Kintampo there, then one Takra Day, Cape Coast Day Road. It's that week, at 104 people.
Yeah, a combination of these are Ghanaian lives, though. And can you believe, the same week there was a terrorist attack in New Zealand, and our parliament held a 2-minute silence for the New Zealand attack, but not even a second silent for those people in and I remember I went mental that day. I was like, how can we be like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with our tradition or our culture that, we have this culture of we will starve and then we will let the people visiting eat.
Recently, look, I said, Notre Dame the Shea. Notre Dame the Shea.
Yes.
Okay, I said all the influencers, world leaders were donating. I started to hear a couple also donated millions to the relief. And let me say, Ghana.
Donation,
Let me say, Ghana. Why should a country as Ghana? Who's a good donation? Why?
Donation, doesn't even make
sense. Why? You see, and this is the thing.
Like I said, mentally, you're not liberated. Mentally, we are not free. Like physically, I brought from say, brother, physically, who want more streets. So,
yeah.
And the only independence I want to say, to me, for me, your own government.
Yeah.
That is the independence I am. But mentally, I want to know, the door, bibini door. Now say you Bruni door before Bruni Diana because I don't know who fair because the skin here coco Anna ni three baby mentally yeah me $2 even me pedo but me time me to be there but still on kola no komo on pay because on pay Bruni Diana yeah coco now ube hun kofo no more bleach your skin because obi to me no tablet me yare kwa men no but on just so or the bleaching the skin. No, about cocoa because I ammonia cocoa, Krameka say like the Obuni skin, white skin, and the first thing. So Obeka say on one skin, darker, Tiomuha, and the Danam catch will be me call Ghana, me who say for you soup prompts like push chairs and color push chair now the only place I'm gonna call a shopping center because where footpath nowhere. Said the city, to me, and now me call Tema station because yet you soon to me call Tema station now. Me who say Obi try so be pushing all the through na and na me jam me chance because my nephew Eddie aye toy na egusu she bed as a brand new shiny box me de me sister man fa kola na to me de bi o she machi na me ka satan na check akanti ye kokroma and because kokroma and say oh can I take a picture and busa say oh hear me on display no be try a picture me de me abofo me ni omo hwa daje oh I said oh that is nice Bonnie can I take I say I'm not on display You know, I try my picture. You know, it's sometimes the dream one mean to make a chunk of what say, yeah, no, no. More wisdom, no, and then I brought for so edit technology, I building your be brave by entire done a journal many Indian EB can no, cause almost any catch almost Oprah Najua, Oprah, when I'm so yes, so yeah, was I, yes, Oprah Najua, what pro anymore, simply because that's an light in your it is Oprah, and that's not good year. Like gold, bundles anywhere, and there you go, pure gold. Ain't you know, Oprah, and I say one shot, not what sweepy baby, I caught watching it, or moon. It's a more kind of say, baby, boom, you see, oh, call a jaria, don't sing it, sounds say, what on your mouth, my papa bill. Simply because soap, none of you used to then, or not a very sharp, I know this a black soap anyway, no, a call with Numa, ubenya complications. Into mo kasa acho na agbo hu tu kwadwa obi wa no so beto no wakai because ebia na make say odi eya ye wanim na you know we no lada ni bia ko wanum na akoko so problem. Into mo wo sa knowledge na but because na mo ni scientific backing bia no into the people did not believe them, but a new man not omoye say ye dia college church and abrofo chere say kangaroo baby dear ben and no eboa hip no because bone no your friend is saying ball and socket na ewo ho no joint na ewo ho no as that say the moment I would akola no church na wo ye ne night say dey say akola exercise but any ye nya sa exercise na be akola because near the omo church here serve as the same purpose enti wo ye ne say wo yi na wo say bia wo ye ne say ne boa ma socket no den ejina enti no wo sha me ba de bia am kasa akofo ba hospital almost 80% of penny from 60s konyina ya omo hip replacement any knee replacement me na now 96 years what ya repair but one buni bone me my top free my top from Africa track mo kese mu pen ma bu bone tete no ya how many people mo bu bone kon mo di ru bia to so ade be che na ekọ nipa na more strong ne enso na we ya near the metals akohihye ya koye screws ne joint near the ya bobo joint me na wona simply because omo nisa bone strength no assign omo how omo activities here I don't blame the omo culture no but yeah so yeah what's our rich culture because say na na mo amfa book bia am back na kan tell say we say a boy baby o twetwe o dware na say the way no mo dware no they had the purpose on abrofo no kire ye be wie no na omo de aye book na omo de aye course na ya betu sika ni aba besia but ye na mo de amaye nyansa no wo ho ye mesi e be yisu ye fi say o de abofato pram na che say wo sika enti ye de be kwa kotum na ye ne de akwa no suko e be fa no na omo wo so no yeah, me sometimes you may be brave, but like I just me sure for the are living in slavery. And before many of my lot for like terrible.
Add up to that, you know, like and this thing, you know, is about say yeah, the kind of what say yababets na hantini yeah, but oh Ghana cry. You can see say people insult you with your blackness. Yeah, I believe so. We cannot relate. We are to man. People have actually turned you being black as an insult. Like as you say, oh you're black, rare. But let the table think. Now, country be say, you start pointing hands and calling it racism. But the same thing I say, you know, really any worse than Onipa only color Nibia or Casa. Friend is a obi bet me out back or see you may ban you a brewing, ban you a brewing or no way or that means in essence, what castle you be near a inferior to brewing. It's only my way in the marketing, getting you feel say harmless. No, if you actually sit down to analyze and think about that, Yankasana who devils, no, it's not really the white man or anything. And me, I believe something say. To actually survive in life, sometimes you need a little bit of selfishness. If you need also about to go diacono or not doing the benefits. It's one person so we need poor baby go no or also think about yourself and negotiate.
That's it.
But Ghana is saying no, you can't negotiate about anything. You pay anywhere, you can negotiate everything. They prepare the agreement and bring it. Now I can okay, yeah, seriously, now you're signing. No one is really sitting down to say, yeah, oh, fine. Recently, Oman can say about this gay rights stuff. And I don't really know how true it is, but I want to believe say it's true. Say as part of some trade agreements, they will tell you say, yeah, oh, more endorse homosexualism, more endorse gay marriage, is a woman crew as part of trade agreements. Ghana government benefits me any trade agreements. I can say, okay, because of this thing, you make sure say within those 4 years and within these 2 years, racism and racial crimes, they be reduced to this percentage. No one has that strength or that kind of mind. Cry say, yeah, oh, let's also show say because you also need the good from us. Every trade they give him no in favor. So it goes back to the mindset, yeah, king.
No, I mean to even add to that, once like for example, my name is Wafa Obuasi da, but Obuasi is one of the poorest places in Ghana. But also the most richest, I mean the place with the most richest resources, like with gold. You two gold, but they don't even have a hospital or which they can boast of. And so even talking about this trade here, okay, isn't like our leaders can't say even Kawe leader when him say, "Ebi de sikadie na emede." When him say, "Your discussion with someone with me." Why don't you then say, okay, guys, you are coming to take gold from us. So before, like I'm giving you maybe 5 years or something. Let's say we signed an agreement for 20 years. Within that 20 years, the place you are taking the gold, I want a world-class hospital. I want a world-class school. I want a world-class this, that. So within that 20 years, and even if that person leaves, this is what they are leaving behind. But it's like totally nothing. We are really not the mindset of our leaders and even the people themselves, and that's why I really struggle sometimes to even go after the leaders, because the people themselves, because I remember when I went to Ghana two years ago, then my mom went to one particular bank. She went there to try and see, because it's a long time since she left Ghana. So she went there. I will try say, Obetima, I'm on my account. Then the lady is like, I can't find your file. So come tomorrow. So my mom spent every day, literally, I was driving her to the bank. And I remember one of the security guys, every time he would see me, he's like, hey, Wafawaba, and then they made it lunch you. Because like whenever I went, both wrote to me, because then he's like, then it's like every time my mom was going down on, I think it was a Friday, I saw a long queue of like old people and they are all lined up coming to cash, because some of them, that bank is known for dealing with like the farmers and all that. And so there were a lot of them that had come down. They were there to like cash in their check and maybe do some transaction. And there was a long queue. But can you believe that there was this a Chinese guy, to be specific, who came, right? He walked past everybody and they welcomed him, and he sat at the chair and they dealt with him and he went. And it wasn't until I went in and that lady saw that I was there with my mom, and I went to the lady and said, please, can you help my mom? Then she looked at me. She said, hey, what are you now? Then I was like, oh, don't worry, then she was laughing. I was like, hey, what's it? Then I started playing it along and say, oh, what's in you now? What's it? Then she's like, oh, what am I mean? You can say, make a kuhu foul now. All this while, no, she's then chatting me up like, oh, Jalena, and she see, oh, here we are, and so I cried. Then I'm saying, so me wa cry, and I had my so. I think the children and this is not the leader. I didn't see for Chrono. They sit in a bank. Obi Banas or Baba transactional, deal with it. But this lady is there. I mean, countless amount. I mean, my auntie died 2 days ago. I'm telling you, since Monday, we started dealing with Confanotia, and I dare to mention Confanotia because I can prove. I mean, the amount of frustration, and I believe that if I was there in Ghana, maybe I would have done something cynical, because the amount of frustration as a doctor who has sworn, say, "Oh, baby, nipa," like nothing. They don't have any feeling in them, say. Onipa doesn't mean that, but that person can be my mother, that person can be my sister,
Gabriel, so Yaria, so if I so Yare pa, Uda Umpaswa, Confonat in the baby asoko. Confonat Sabia.
My cash was a one me auntie woo ye. My cat is not a place.
Gio, any Sabia, maybe make us a honey Sabia. It doesn't look like a hospital. It does not look like a hospital. It looks like a place, Abia clubhouse. With all due respect, you see, when you come to a hospital, you need to feel to the place that I'm in a hospital. But you don't get a FG confrontation. Feeling, no, you don't get that feeling. And that feeling also confers with the people who are sworn to oath that they should protect you. Only the OG meant me one until they join. You see, because on no about one bass about saving life, on the house say, Jad, the best my no, so and my and then the time so no can baby.
But I'm crack on bay, don't bet me, auntie called down, me, mamma, Edna Coy, me, mamma, so goes out, or nim say. Na I was a moyen surgery. Was onim say there was a utia baby. Apart from hospital, yeah, what you know, so my doctor and for I'm quite a doctor no in Suat 20 surgeon no ne can not to me fa we no more. I miss you sa enti me auntie no da was 3 days said they be a samba kona me mama so nimo hwe na enti me auntie paralyze because our man koye surgery no and the 3rd day no and a nurse ni bi eba no be hu me maame na na maame fi kroba ko no ba na obi say oh man na wo ye dem na say oh my sister me na beto at the omo transfer ye free Techima Holy Family no mo say surgery na you kwa na den hospital can dey call you omo transfer no it's not as if say yes sorry na dey call ye but surgeon say nsu ato nti ne ka sa tana mi sakakra nti oh yes and nti oh you no o to offer me maame no say oh ma we de ka fa se man hu ntem na okwa kan no kwanche se wa mfa sika me ya mfa nkoma na onye den wunya ayahwe da ampa ma me se na ka mo kan kira me na sika nti na nka me nua bewu me ma me di sika na ma omo na omo ye de na sa de na nurse no be ka kira no pa no ewia na doctor no be dru ye se omo kwa koye surgery no na me anti na paralyze ye na bibie ni ho omo ye be ye na me anti ni di wu ye. So me no so many cases me brother penny na yere wo twins or premature mo dem ko to incubate me ono so me de bia me ka so mo pursue case ya omo nya mo se ye dem pay ho say enenti na ye bre no omo obi a mo say wa wo ma discard nkola na say wa wo premature mo de o ma to incubate okay mama twins ni nyina we say ya ma lights out. Like yeah, almost see my lighthouse in Tino, you know, do more. The additional uncle, me, you know, we will be a 1 year, say 7 months. And they recently, yeah, me and the such a crack. Where dear recently, 2 years, 3 years ago. Enti nkola na wu me se omo se o na we okwakan na china oni pa na omo wan and am se ba hu the silence of the people no is what is killing our nation. We have because media me say me ntimi hwe ma ne nko de say they get back me wo ho a we boxing ne ko Ghana me konto kwasa kopin di am di airport kwa na me konto
but more question no you more simple question no so then so onya on my opinion be Donald Trump. No, okay, say Africa is a shithole.
Oh, but it's more than a shithole. But we don't need him to say, yeah, idea.
But as painful as it may be, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
The way now, man. Yeah, give you the pen. I mean, sometime down the line we will discuss it whether that all these things happening, is the one fueling some racism here outside. The way now African leaders, African Union, even our African people, we treat each other. Isn't it the very thing fueling how people are dealing, or how foreigners are being dealt with?
It contributes, it contributes. Because automatically Joe say would so it contributes to what we are going through.
Yeah.
Also, Brad, able to make my final point. Also, it's very interesting how we were discussing about the fact that the Western countries they came to the Ghanaian, the African countries, and colonized us. And when they colonized us, they took effort of all of almost all the things we have, gold, all the minerals which you have. But they came to a time from Ghana to different countries, they became independent. And when they became independent, the idea was now we can manage our own affairs, as Kwame Nkrumah said.
Yes, sir.
But then what we are seeing is that even the minerals which are part of us, still it is still benefiting the white people. So for me, it is very simple. For me, it is very simple. Yes, we claim to be independent. We claim to be independent, and hooray if you're independent. But we must face the fact, sir, since independence was declared to us on the 6th of March, we do not see any improvement. We do not see any improvement. And until, as a people, we can say to ourselves, no, they are going to employ cocoa. Do you know that we in Ivory Coast, we determine the prices for cocoa in the whole world? We determine that. And so, chocolate now you can have some. Open the best factories. You have to go to Switzerland. Why not in Ghana? It's high time we should say to the people, say enough is enough. I believe it was General Kutu Achampong who said to the Western country, said, that is a mentality we have to put in our mind. It's our minerals, it is our gold, it is our bauxite, it is our oil. We determine what will go to happen. And we should just think about it. We put it into the development of our country, and you will see Ghana eventually now. Ghana will stop being a developing country and be a developed country like all other Western countries now. And so you're paying for so 12 in the ministry place be no one said cars by 20
for no reason.
We are a poor country. We are a poor country. We shouldn't maintain these kind of things.
In the final you go also done 1-2 be
no problem.
No. Sorry. No. My phone, friends, my phone will do your friends in a second. That is why. Let me say, even if say Yankasa, we would do our things, without letting the white man decide for us, I say Yankasa is because at the end of the year, and I say, we have everything. We have everything. Bauxite, then come chacha kind in tuntume do cry will be. What I say, it's at the end of the year, it is hard time say you should buy your best. We are not united. We are not united. Abrofono ever inside, they come inside to come and take our resources or whatever. And I say because I see a tomo with resources that are so enko bibia. God no obuasi a one never enko bibia. What I say? Enko bibia. Cocoa no ewo enko bibia. Ye turn in as much as your friend is saying that the number of countries is never going to go anywhere. But I see a super insisa because Obroneno or no or betofu honomoa or na agent say, oh, he is going to use it for something good. What I say, or the boane mine, but yeah, idea no yan fan boy mine. Yan fan boy mine into no idea no yan ton amma abrofono crana. Still we can't use it because I couldn't pay back for bottom. Yes, I couldn't pay back for bottom. Into yan ton mo bonne crana or no they are fine yan ton man crana. They are dependent on us. Obono no kasi they are independent. They are not independent. They are dependent on us. Yes, yes, independent, you know. We are dependent on them. So where is the essence of the independence that your friends is celebrating? So what I say, we have to change our ways of doing things. Because to me, say, okay, in independence, we have all these natural resources, and yet, we are still suffering. Gabriel, but what I know, they say, yes, good if you honor. How come say it is also one of the rich friends and the poorest area in Ghana? Oh, you know how I want to see it.
Look at the V8 could I want to mean go.
Oh, you know how I want to see it. Oh, it's in a sea and say so.
The difference between us, the difference between the difference between Ghana and Nigeria is when they need you, they don't let you feel say they need you. They still make you feel say on your favor. But Ghana, no, we have made it very obvious, and it's not like we have made it obvious. You can't even hide the fact that we need them. But no, my position who in a way say, I say if you don't trade with us, one break. And so we have shown our vulnerability to the world so much so say, so they can capitalize on that and cheat you. And the way Ghana governance system needs to know. Senior party can say, why careful? Opio the question be a corrupt. Because I know certain people there are certain people when I was working with, because I saw the way I know what you make. Almost very, very principled, but they got into politics and the kind of utterances what they compare the character that you knew them to have now, it is so different. Like personality as is totally. I think it's as if there's something about your governance system. It's like you either join us or if you are alone, no be you with you. It's your ma obi obe could say, oh, ye dear.
But that's wickedness. Let's say we are wicked then.
Yeah, I know the president every Ghanaian president PPR hasn't really been in control because before wave one. When Oba power, you have to make sure say all those people will also be taken care of. Whether you're competent to occupy whatever position or not, or so do you because one Nipano probably knows a few secrets that you have. Secondly, so they also feel obliged to say, man, I also have to satisfy them. Because recently, is it ministerial vet in the questions episode, I said 5 questions. What is agriculture? What is fish farming? You're supposed to give them real world situations. Say, Ghana, this is the problem we have. So they're mitigating all these problems. So they will not ask them those questions. Definitions here, yada. It's president. President. He decides about his presidency. You don't accept it. Oh.
Do you know what is very interesting?
Sometimes when I hear people,
do you know what's very interesting? So, when we ask that question and say, "What is fishing and what is etc. etc." Now, she couldn't even give an answer. She couldn't give an answer. And once she couldn't give an answer, she was still approved with the highest votes. Yes, still approved with the highest votes.
It's just for the process to go through.
Yeah.
It was nothing that the position she was going to get wasn't even based on the answers that was going to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I said. The position is mine. And the sad thing, won't say parliament NT has a certain number, MPP has a certain number, so things are actually going to be competitive. I was surprised when I saw the vote no Modema woman. I was just surprised, like really, Ghana, no. Whether NDC or NPP, no, I really don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, this somebody MMC president and not right? But anyway, guys, I'm conscious of the time.
The real system, our system.
Oh, me, there's some catch up that me be president. There are two things I will do. The first one will be Biabo, and then the second one will be. Maybe presidency.
I said, go back to Ghanaian because I say, yeah, Steve votes in the crowd. People are not even listening to, are not analyzing what the various presidential candidates, have laid down on the table. Everything they say is theoretical. Practically, they don't do anything, and no one will hold anyone accountable. Or you about be say building, no be about baby building, the real structural, whatever reason on no accountability. No one will be held responsible for causing that loss. Oh, yeah. Ethiopia, political person Ben and watching. No political person Ben and watching because if you or say nobody. Into balance also one could be you want say winning answer. Yeah, you get it. If you don't say one year papa, so that has become like the trend. They also be also come and fall in line. One for in line, that means 1 hour year old, and you will last one check. If you don't say,
yes, no, I think we need to make another time and then come and talk about. But as time goes on, guys, we'll be coming on and talking about different aspects of our society, both here abroad, both back home, and see how we can grow ourselves and move ahead. But I would like to thank you all because I'm being very conscious with the time. We've been talking close to like 2 hours now, and I think you guys have done really well. And yeah, so the best is a guy. I'll say it to me, I said about. But to end, I'll go around and say, let's say, is there something that or one advice be now they are more, and then I will start off by saying, my advice, it's not more to the people back home, but to the people outside here. And say, I recently saw the Suriname doctors now Holland, they've come together and come up with an association, and they've gone back home to work on people with kidney problems. And actually, they've worked together hand in hand with the Dutch government to build a facility whereby they are dealing specifically with kidney problems. And what they've said, they said the amount of Suriname doctors here, they are welcoming them. And also, they've worked together with a welcome package back home. When they come now, they are being welcomed and they are being able to function and do their work. And so I think if going forward, and our leaders can also think in that sense, and also we outside here can think in that sense, and work hand in hand, and I think that development can go on its own. So I'll go around and quickly, if we can all share something and advice to the people. Maybe it'll be before Biasmama, where we say, okay, member panel coming heaven. No, I'm heaven, not to me, say let's start from Skippy and then let's go that way. Skippy Nanama, then Tom, then don't be a sheep.
Yeah, I think so. We should like friends we should try and also talk about this with our fellow Ghanaians. I mean those back home, because perhaps like they also see a different world altogether, right? Approach everything. Meanwhile, we know approach is not everything, right? So we have to also address these things with them, to talk about these issues, which would also create awareness about certain things that we didn't take serious. So we should talk about these issues more with our fellow Ghanaians. I think it's a bebwa.
Nice. Nana Mayem Kwe.
No, okay. Maybe na there be idea that Makumas now can say, yeah, you were outside, no, so you bet me about and found a professional at least to give something back to the society. Yes, you near the beer na ye beka. Ebe start ye bibia, ebe encourage your mom or no. Ebe encourage mpanyinfo no. So me appeal ni say me appeal to young people na what diaspora and say young kind like we can also do something. Young could be Accra, young could be kuma. They be it's been Accra kuma say who need those two way no more. I say on Kaga now. There are so many people suffering. That I can say go for your kidney problem. Yes, you bet maybe a see oh yeah the boy the needy because yeah who's a healthcare no. Even say if it's just screening cramp problem no earlier because now saying young people will be brave of so many things dream one any concern ka fantino yeah more na yes yeah who no yeah who yetimi asesa your mentality no say you start baby sometimes they be me catch sometimes worse ain't mean ko baby certain things no should be changed with actions because kasa where you can one then can be that they be different people on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, or more kasasa, but enko baby, I think say it's time ye bema action akasa than words. Words na those no ama nipa no hu so mfa so be say munja we o ma start ye ncho ebegu. Nti o mo kan bebre nti no na ekwa yaka ampa ye bra ni ye jai. But say it to me follow words not with action probably a bit wake up some minds now change na start here for you.
So Tom, be a Ghana name. I'm you too, Abusia.
The Obinika said you need to cut your coat according to your size now. Maybe the Maka asked us and said we should cut our coat according to our cloth. And they say your cloth is expensive. So you should try and make our best to say we will live according to what the cloth we have and we live according to that particular measurement because let's be honest, Ghana is a developing country. And so we share a car a day as of December 2020, we're talking about a debt of 250 billion Ghana cedis. At that Ghana Nkwanso. It's not a country it's not a country which can boast of great things. It is a country which needs introspective and also retrospective development in order to want to be debt free, but also to make sure that its citizens have something to do. You know, and this also advice for the people at Omuko School Ghana. You see, when you finish a college education, that doesn't mean so you have to sit behind a computer to be successful. I mean, if you use the mindset which you have and you go to even a cocoa farm, you might even develop the cocoa farm to the extent because you might even be more successful than the person who are even how do you call it behind the computer. So we need to think about, because let's be honest, the Netherlands, the country is not a country which has a lot of resources.
No,
but it is a country which is smart, and because of its smartness, it exports its smartness. For example, if you want a country to make land out of sea, and then this is the best country because they have thought about that. They are the only country who know how to extract land out of sea. If you want to make sure that your country will not be filled or will not be spilled over by water, the Netherlands is the best country. It is the technology, the mindset. So if you learn something, put it into use. Don't say, "So I need to wear a tie and sit behind the finish a computer before I'm successful." No, put the creativity to use. And when you put the creativity to use, you'll see that the country will develop in different areas, and eventually the country itself will develop.
Amen.
It will be beautiful. And Nkebe said, Mark Zuckerberg was a Ghanaian. Nkebe said, Steve Jobs was a Ghanaian. How can Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg be in Ghana if you always experience doom? So how? It's impossible. So the point I'm trying to make is that we should allow for creativity to work in Ghana.
Yes, sir.
And when the creativity works in Ghana, you will see eventually development coming by itself. That's all.
That's when they don't be a sheep, we will be goats. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mesoni, I mean, what can they say? Say, you know, Ghana, we call Facebook, call Instagram, call BBR. The focus, I say, youth, you know, Obia focus about money. Everyone is focusing on money, and they are not looking at what you actually have to do to bring in the money. That's all everyone is thinking about. And sometimes I see these kind of things on YouTube about, oh, I'm only 25 years, I have a mansion. I'm only 25 years, I've built. So all these things, no, it is programming the mind to be focused on greed. It doesn't matter how the money comes to. Say, oh, Charlie, so I think for that part of it, you know, people should take their mind off that and actually think of how they develop because most of the time when I look at some of these posts that the focus being on money, you know, the person cannot really substantiate anything or generate the kind of wealth they are talking about. So it leads me, like my mind leans towards say something that is fraudulent. And if that is actually the case, then it's really sad. And as the way as people are hailing because we will see. It's not about money, it's about developing the country. If let's take even this Western world. What makes this part of the world great? Say, we make closely economic gap. No, obi wo plumber, but car plumber beating out no bank manager beating out the same car. We make closely gap to the extent say obi if I is so proper kwan ho kra ni beating out you a bank manager a beating out. So it takes away the best of greed. It takes away the obedience. I've never seen anyone or driving pushing any sarcasm. People will be like, wow. Honestly, who so be as other? Everyone is wild by it just simply because they feel say it's only a certain group of people who can afford to buy it. I know for that part of it, that is what people should actually look at. And the other end of it, I mean, so can say people should also analyze situations. This is the order. This is the order of the day. Saying that this is how it has always been. That goes back to the slogan: "Don't be sheep." Question things, analyze things, and then see if there's a better way of doing things, and then just do it. If everything was good, I don't think say yeah, so
okay, guys, I'm really humble for your attendance and for your contribution. I'm saying if I have to pay you guys, I'll be broke in 2 minutes. But thank you guys very much for your wisdom. Skippy, then thank you very much. I nearly started speaking Dutch with you. But thank you very much, Skippy, for coming through and sharing your wonderful things. Now my was also do a home of any ababe to prosper my coffee. I was saying that one time you shake your mouth coffee floor. Now be church the same MPP, NDC. Hey,
Mr. Politics.
Why do you only be free? Me 100% NDC, and I always be NDC. Don't matter what happens.
Politics, Ghana politics. I don't think so. Like it's not worth anything.
Nanama, this time we are in there to make changes. We are in there to make changes.
I pray so. Amen. Amen. And call for MP na yembe voti mawe. Na
Eska, I saw the 2 months. Maybe for some of us can say.
So a sponsorship or a sponsor.
I recently, by the way, I recently read that just common MP primaries, so about $5 million.
No, as an independent candidate, yeah.
$5 million.
Yeah.
And so look at primaries. Unyanko against your opponent where primaries keke. But you call opponent there and say
and our parties no they resist the young.
It's monetization of politics, and that's not.
If that is the case, then will be back power on person.
So Obe make his scanner back, yeah.
Exactly. You see, a very interesting point. Mukai, the former MP of Lejikuku constituency, Lejikuku. But the end of both time, Dr. Diana of both time.
I'm not interested in him.
He was voted out, too. He was voted out. Do you know the reason why? Almost say, oh no, I'm wedding he doesn't attend funerals. Even as other collective, so I must even know about the bow tie, premise them. But his main objective as an MP is to be a lawmaker and to lobby for his constituency.
They say, assemblyman, you have to like.
But you see,
your word, no be invite, to be a party, be invite. Like you have to be paying.
One kwa, ubundo mayor.
I'm bet 20 years. So now why is it kind of family? And you see kind of the about why is it kind of family?
Anyway, don't be a sheep. His Royal Majesty, the King Kapobo, international millionaire. Chale Dase say also Ode Waho Feba Betina job. The only young man with
Niawa Kanaya Depanti, Chale Majority.
Well, of course. And the lecturer say you see Yamisha so bit here.
Oh, Yamisha, so now Yamisha be
definitely. I would say the near future, your friend one win number, but as I said, Ghana independence. Now, Miss Maya Suffolk will be. I hope you guys don't mind if I say a short prayer for Ghana and then we go. Yeah. Okay, me and Bombay. I don't hear that was they say at least 1 year. A wonderful place to come out of. Thank you for helping us to share our views about the place. We place Ghana into your hands for it to maintain its peace where they are and for you to continue to carry Ghana high to where it needs to be. And may you bless all citizens of Ghana, bless all seeds from Ghana. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay. Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great talk. We'll be back again.
Good evening to everybody.
Nice meeting you all.
Nice meeting you all. Bye.
Bye.
Thank everybody for tuning in, for coming. And yes, we shall definitely be with you some other time. Straight Talk is here so that we can share our views, our meaning, everything that you feel would help you. So Straight Talk, we shall be with you one more time. God bless you all.